Hello and welcome to Box Office Receipts for the weekend of February 14th, 2020. We got a combo weekend here as Friday was Valentine's Day and it was another holiday with it being President's Day weekend. So for the weekend top 5, I will be doing it in a 4-day format, including Monday's numbers. Besides that, we have international updates, an update on Parasite, and what is coming out this weekend. So opening in first place is Sonic the Hedgehog with 70 million. In second place is Birds of Prey with 19.7 million. For a total of 61.8 million. In third place is Fantasy Island, opening with 13.7 million. In fourth place is The Photograph, opening with 13.2 million. And lastly, in fifth place is Bad Boys for Life, with 13.1 million, for a total of 181 million. It looks like it will really hit 200 million domestic, which is a huge win for Sony. Prediction-wise, I was almost right. I thought Fantasy Island could break out, but it turned out it was dog shit, so that did not help. Otherwise, the rest were right. Birds of Prey had a good hold, but the issues like Doolittle. Good to great holds, but since the opening weekend was low, it's just still overall a disappointment. At this rate, unless it has a great hold throughout the rest of its run, the movie will most likely just miss the 100 million domestic mark, which is surprising that this could happen. The Photograph performed about as well as expected, so that's good for the movie. And while Fantasy Island did not break out like I thought it would, it did not bomb either, coming right in around expectations. Now let's talk about the big surprise of the weekend. Sonic dominating. Expected to come in between 40 to 50 million. It ran past that and did 70 million instead. This is the biggest opening for Paramount Studios in a long time, and the first in a while that could make them a big profit, since the movie only cost around 85 million. So why the big shock here? Well, I think a big part of it was the decent reviews. It's fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, and while reviewers are not saying it's amazing, they are saying it's a decent film and a good time. That got people to go out and see it, and we already see with a cinema score that it also now has good word of mouth. It has already beaten Detective Pikachu's opening weekend domestically, and it is a guarantee that it will also pass it domestically. I'm happy that Paramount finally got a clear-cut win, not, they made a small profit here or there, or they could turn a profit eventually. No, simply Sonic is one of the bigger movies of the year right now, and Paramount's having a good time. While they do not have a big schedule though, they can continue this streak if A Quiet Place Part 2 and the new SpongeBob movie do about as well in the coming months. They can have a nice hot streak coming here. Now let's look at some international numbers. Sonic the Hedgehog opened to 42.9 million for an opening weekend of 112.9 million. Fantasy Island opened with 7.6 internationally for a worldwide opening weekend of 22.4 million. Birds of Prey is now at 83 million internationally for a worldwide total of 147.1 million. Doolittle has yet to pass 200 million, with it now at 184.4 million worldwide. 1917 is now at 179.9 million internationally for a worldwide total of 325.6 million. And A Gentleman is now at 75.3 million worldwide. Before we move on to what is coming out this weekend, we got an update on Best Picture winner Parasite. For all the wins, U.S. distributor Neon expanded showings from just over 1,000 theaters to 2,000, and turns out that was a very smart move. This weekend it came in at 7th place for 6.8 million, and it's the biggest weekend for the movie yet in North America. Domestically, this puts it at 4.49 million and is on track to pass 50 million. Internationally, it is also still making money in some markets and has just passed 200 million worldwide, with it now at 206 million. What makes this more surprising, at least in America, is it's available outside of theaters. It's available to rent and buy digitally, iTunes, Vudu, and has been on sale on Blu-ray for the past 2 weeks. So it shows that the hype is there enough that people still want to see it in theaters, which is good to see. So yeah, Parasite is getting a very strong post-Oscar win bump. Now for the weekend, we have another crop of movies coming out. It's been a busy month. First, we got another family movie left over from Fox with The Call of the Wild. We then have a horror movie sequel from STX with Bram's The Boy 2. And then from Universal, we have a reimagining of The Invisible Man. Of these, I expect The Invisible Man to be the top dog. The marketing has been there for a while and seems to have a good reception for it, compared to The Boy 2, which I believe started its marketing a little late, and while The Boy did alright, do people really care about it enough for a sequel? Then for The Call of the Wild, families are getting their fix with Sonic, and then next week is the next Pixar movie with Onward, so I really don't know where this fits. So my weekend top 5 predictions are Sonic the Hedgehog, The Invisible Man, Call of the Wild, Birds of Prey, and lastly, Bram's The Boy 2. The one pick I think is most uncertain is Bram's. I feel Fantasy Island or something else could top it, maybe Photograph, but we will see. What do you think will be in the top 5 for the weekend? Let me know on Instagram at Tyler Callahan Media and on Facebook. Link to the page is in the show notes. That'll be it for this week's episode of Box Office Receipts. Thanks for listening.